All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. This is now just doing a lesson regarding the lesson that I put up a couple of days ago. I said it was going to be called part of doing the work is believing, but that ended up turning into a whole nother lesson. So, Lord willing, this is a edifying lesson. I'm going to actually go with the precepts that I wrote down. So this is John chapter 6 and 28. It says, "Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of the Most High?" And these are, like I said, the Jakes that were inquiring of Yahushai. You know, how do we work? How do we do the work? They were asking Yahushai how to do the work of the Most High, right? It says, verse 29, Yahushua answered and said unto them, "This is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him who he hath sent." And that's the core of this ministry, is to believe, man. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get Genesis real quick, because Abraham was not going to do what the Lord told him to do if Abraham didn't believe. So belief is the core foundation, man. This is Genesis chapter 15, verse 6. It says, "And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness." Okay, so Abraham believed in the Lord, and that belief and that faith that Abraham had in the Lord was counted unto Abraham as righteousness, man, because that's part of doing that's Yahushua defined it. I'm reading it again. John chapter 6, 29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, "This is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him who he hath sent." Okay, so during that time of Abraham, of course, Yahushua wasn't sent yet. However, during the time of Yahushua, his ministry, and all the way even until now and beyond, we're doing the work by believing in Yahushua. We're coming back into the knowledge and understanding of who we are through the understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, and so that's heavy, man. You know, I mean, now on top of that, let's go ahead and get that scripture in James, the 2nd chapter, where it mentions about how faith without works is dead. Because you can just say, okay, yeah, I have faith, I'm doing the work. No, it's not that easy. It's not that simple, I should say. Yeah, this is St. James chapter 2, and it says in verse 14, "What doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him?" Now the scripture say in Ephesians 2 and 8, "Through grace we are saved by faith, and not of ourselves. It is the grace of the Most High," or something to that effect. Okay, or the gift of the Most High. Excuse me. And here it's saying, "What doeth profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works?" So not works only. Excuse me, not faith only, but works. They go hand in hand, because you can't say that you believe. Well, you can, but you're lying if you say you believe and you don't actually do the works of one who believes, right? And actually had a precept to that in Titus chapter 1, verse 16. It says, "They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him." And that's the category that too many Israelites that say they believe. That's why if somebody says they're Israelite, it doesn't necessarily mean that they believe, because okay, you know you were an Israelite, but are you doing the works? Like actually going out on the highways and byways, or learning whatever portion the Lord has given you? Are you actually doing that? Are you actually posting videos on YouTube, spreading the word? If you're not doing that, then how can you say you really believe? You're just saying it. You can say it, but it's not very valid, you know? Get this out the way, get this paper in the way. it's not very valid, man. Okay. And so finish that verse in Titus 1. It says, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him, being abominable, which is detestable, okay, and disobedient, man. Okay, so if you say that you believe, we must work the works on top of it, man. Okay, well, lest we be hypocrites, man. You know, lest we be reprobates. Isn't that in that Galatians? You know, let me see here. Some of my little markers are falling off. About time for a new sword. And like I said, showing and proving that this goes hand in hand, I'm going to read this scripture right here. This is Galatians chapter 2, verse 16. It says, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahushua Mashiach. See, this is showing it goes hand in hand. You can't have faith only, like we read in James, the 2nd chapter, and you can't have works only. It has to be combined. Okay? That's what Yahushua is saying here. Okay? He's answering their question. We're doing the work by believing. Okay? And if we really believe, we're going to actually physically do work like preach and teach and learn ourselves and practice the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, rehearsing the righteous acts, man. That's what Yahushua is saying here. So I'm gonna finish this verse in Galatians 2:16. It says, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahushua Mashiach. And if you believe in Jesus Christ, okay, Serapis Christus or Caesar Borgia, then you are not believing, and that's not faith in the Messiah, the true Messiah, man. That's faith in devils, man, which exists. People have faith in demons because you have wicked priests, okay, that pray to demons. They worship Satan. They doing sacrifices unto the devil and other demons. And so Jesus is a demon. That's another demon, Serapis. You can just, all you have to do is look up the history of Jesus the Christ, okay, and you'll see that not only does it predate the Renaissance period, the image of it, I should say, does it predate the Renaissance period with the image of Caesar Borgia on as the face of the Messiah during the iconoclasm period. Okay, but it also predates that, man. It goes back to the Grecian Empire with Ptolemy. Okay, Ptolemy, he was the one who set up his son as I believe it was Ptolemy the First set up his son to be the basically the god in Egypt in that time, because the Ptolemaic Empire was based in Egypt. So that was a mix between Osiris, which is an Egyptian god, and Apis the bull, which is also an Egyptian god. So that's, I mean, this stuff, all you have to do is look it up, but it's like you are actually worshiping. If you're worshiping Jesus Christ, you got to go back and see where the origin of this come from. Okay, we're worshiping the true Messiah, man. Like it says in John, the 4th chapter, man. Okay, John chapter 4, and and Yahushua was talking about the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, but we know who we worship. We worship Yahweh in the name of Yahushua, man. This is John chapter 4 and 24. It says, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start up verse 22. It says, you worship, ye know not what we know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews. That's why these other nations, they don't worship Yahushua. They don't know to call upon the name Yahweh and Yahushua. They don't know what's going on when it comes to that. So that's why they don't worship him, man. That's why they don't pray to him like that. But we worship, the Israelites know the name to call upon. It says, verse 24, I'm gonna drop down to verse 24. Actually, 23. It says, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Okay, so the true worshipers are the Israelites, because this woman here, she was a Hamite, man. She wasn't an Israelite. So it says, the Most High is the Spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay, and we do that by faith, man, and we do that in a sincere heart. You know, when we do the work, we genuinely want to serve the Lord. That's why he's seen us as an acceptable sacrifice, man, Lord willing. Let me see. So going back to Galatians, in the middle of Galatians chapter 2, in the middle of verse 16, it says, even we have believed in Yahushua Mashiach, that we might be justified by the faith of Mashiach. And is that not what we're reading here? In John 16 and 29, it says, this is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him who he hath sent. Who did the Most High send? He sent his son Yahushua. And we're doing the work by believing on him, and also acting upon that faith that this newfound faith that we have. Because we didn't always have the faith. Otherwise, we would have been always doing the work, you know, as long as we were able to, you know. And so now that we have the faith, now you're seeing a change. I can't slap my left hand. A change in our actions. You see? It's like a switch. Now, continuing in that verse 16, it says, that we might be justified by the faith of Yahushua Mashiach, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. And the reason why by the works of the law no flesh shall be justified is because the law is not set up to save us and give us eternal life, man. The law is set up for how do I see it? Instructions, okay, on how to appeal to the Most High, okay. But Yahushua, and that was done through sacrifices. But Yahushua now, he is the ultimate sacrifice. So how can we overshadow these? It's like it's outdated now. The sacrificial law is not needed to be carried out in the manner that it was carried out previously, because Yahushua has fulfilled that portion, okay, of the law. Now, doesn't mean it's done away with, okay? It just means it's fulfilled. Now, let me see here. And plus, we don't have no sheep. We don't have any livestock. We don't have a temple to sacrifice. So, what are we gonna sacrifice at? How are we gonna? I mean, you know. Anyway, I mean, these people are bugged out demons, man. Dude walking with a Kobe Bryant costume on, with a cane. Anyway, let's see. So Titus, back in Titus, and I'm gonna read 1:16 again. It says, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Okay, see, you can't say that you believe and then not prove it. Like, our actions have to coincide with our words. So that's it on Titus. That's it on Galatians. I'm gonna go back to James, chapter 2, and I'm gonna read verse 14 again. It says, what doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? Because, like I said, it's written in Ephesians 2:8, through grace we are saved by faith. But not only faith alone, man. We gotta have works, man. Verse 17, I'm gonna drop down. It says, even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. So we just have faith, and you're gonna meditate till the Lord come back. I have faith that I'm gonna be able to fast this whole time until Yahushua come back. I can say it and I can believe it, but we've been commanded otherwise. We haven't been commanded to sit and be idle, man. Okay? If you look at a waiter, they're not at a restaurant, they're not just waiting. No, they're serving. they're serving, consistently going back and forth, making sure that your needs are tended to. And that's what we ought to do, man. We ought to continually serve until the time appointed, man, which is coming soon. So, and it's our reasonable service. So let me go back here. Let me see. I got that in Titus. What else do I want to get? I'm going to keep reading here in John 6. It says, let me see, verse 30. It says, they said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What doest thou work? And so our people, I was going to say something else. Our people required a sign of Yahushua to say, oh, that's, if you show us a sign, which they already seen the sign the day before they got fed. Okay, out of all of those people, they only have 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And here they come again, show us another sign. Like, bro, how didn't you just do a miracle yesterday? Like, how many signs do you need? It's like these people, man. And it's the same mentality. Even if we did a miracle, the next day they'd say, "I'll prove it again." Oh, I didn't see it. Anyway, yeah, they said, show us a sign so we can believe, man. When the scripture says that that hope that is seen is not hope. Like, let me get that in Romans real quick. See, I'm done with this in James. Romans. What was that? Romans chapter 8, verse 24. It says, for we are saved by hope. It says, but hope that is seen is not hope. Okay? And so if you're hoping for something, you're waiting for an expected thing to come to pass. If you see it, how are you gonna hope? Like, we hope for the kingdom. We're not gonna be hoping for the kingdom in the kingdom though, because it's gonna be here. So if you see it, or if you are experiencing it, then it's not hope. It's already something that's there. It's already something that's manifest. It's been revealed itself. It says, verse 24 again, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? You see? Like when, that reminds me of when David was hoping and praying to the Most High that he was able to keep his son, that that the Most High didn't take his son away, because when he had committed adultery with Bathsheba, the prophet Nathan had told him, yeah, this is the 11th, I think it's the 11th chapter. Let me see. 12th chapter, excuse me. Nathan had told David, man. Let me get this real quick. This is 2 Samuel chapter 12 and 15, because if you read earlier, I'll read in verse 13 and I'll skip down. This is 2 Samuel 12 and 13. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh. And Nathan said unto David, Yahweh also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die, because the punishment for adultery is death according to the law. But the Most High have mercy according to the sure mercies of David, man. The Most High have mercy upon it. It said, howbeit, which means however, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of Yahweh to blaspheme, the child that also that is born unto thee shall surely die. So Nathan was telling David, hey, your child is definitely going to die because of this transgression. Now, so let me see here. So this, so the child was born, and it was born sick. And then in verse 16, it says, David therefore besought Yahweh for the child, and David fasted and went in and lay all night upon the earth. So he was hoping that word that Nathan had spoke did not come to pass, because he loved his son. Obviously, you don't want your son to die. So it says, David therefore besought Yahweh, the Most High, for the child. And David fasted and went in and lay all night upon the earth. He was mourning, fasting, weeping, hoping that his son didn't get taken away. It said, and the elders of his house arose and went to him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them, because he was hoping and praying that the Most High did not take his son's life. And that's really all that he really cared about. He didn't care about food. He didn't care about nothing. He was like, look, I'm gonna lay here and pray and hope and fast. And fasting is a work, by the way. That's actually refraining from food. That's you're afflicting your soul when you do that, man. You know, you're making yourself basically a sacrifice when you do that. It says, verse 18, and it came to pass on the seventh day, so David fasted for 7 days, a week, that the child died. And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead. For they said, behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice. How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead? But when David saw that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead. Therefore David said unto his servants, is the child dead? And they said, he is dead. Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of Yahweh and worshipped. Then he came to his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat. Then said his servants, and this is the point, then said his servants unto him, what thing is this that thou hast done? Thou didst fast and weep for the child while it was alive, but when the child was dead, thou didst rise and eat bread. And he said, while the child was yet alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, who can tell whether Yahweh will be gracious to me, that the child may live? But now he is dead. Wherefore should I fast? Can I bring him back again? I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me. Okay, so the point right here is in verses 21 through 23, when David was like, look, he's dead already. I can't, that hope that I had for him to be alive, he's dead. So I've seen it. I can't hope anymore for him to be alive. Can I bring him back from the dead? You know, that's what he was saying to his servants. And so, you know, that's kind of like the flip. That's like the, you know, another perspective of it, but it's the same concept, you know, if for what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? Okay. Even if his son lived, right? Say his son lived. Okay, well, cool. That's great. You know, that would have been the fulfillment of his hope. But there was no need for David's hope any further because his son was dead. You know, at the point where he was hoping, it was on the fence. It was being decided. Well, it was already decided, but you know, it was possible for him to become healthy and live. But once he was dead, it was like, well, you know, that faith, that hope that I had is too late. I can't bring him back from the dead. You know, so that's just an example. But anyway, let me see, verse 25. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. And that is a beautiful mindset to have, because the scriptures say, in your patience possess ye your souls. And so that hope that we see not, which we don't see, you know, we don't see physically Yahushua. We don't see too much of like the chariots. You know, we don't see too much of a lot of these things that we know are going to come to fruition, but we believe. That's the point, man. And so the core of doing this work, man, is believing. Okay, believing that these things are going to come to pass. I'm gonna finish it off here in Corinthians. You see here, because after we believe, that's when we start speaking, we start pushing the word. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, and therefore we speak. You see, we have that spirit of faith. But it's not just, oh, okay, we believe and we sit down. No. We're going out and we're speaking. This is in the scriptures right here. Okay? And I believe it's quoting Psalms 116 and 10. You know, if brother want to go back and double check, but that's what it says in my precept here. Anyway, verse 14, it says, knowing that he which raised up the Lord, Yahushai, shall raise up us also by Yahushai, and shall present us with you. So we believe that the same power, Yahweh, who resurrected Yahushai from the dead, okay, is able to raise us up, man, and transform us if we be those men that are written in the book, the 144,000, man. Okay, so hey, man, we are in an excellent strategic spiritual position right now, and all we gotta do is keep fighting. You know, keep doing what we're doing. So Lord willing, you brothers and maybe a sister or two were edified with that. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.